Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today, as you can see by the title down below, um, this video is basically an illustration slash advice to myself and my viewers, because whenever I establish or garner a certain knowledge, I am going to share it with you guys, and that's one of the main reasons for my channel, to motivate, inspire, and help others to evolve into a greater being, someone greater than what their mind would tell themselves that, this is who I am, and they're adamant to say that, I am this type of person and I cannot be that type of person. And we all have, in my estimation, based on observation, set limits towards ourselves and upon ourselves and see that, we can't do this or we can't do that or whatever. But this video is basically about anger and how we should deal with anger, or ways in which I think that we can effectively deal with anger, because outwardly expressing anger to others, saying words that we don't mean, or we're saying things out of frustration, out of anger, and then we all know that words that are being said cannot be taken back, whether it is out of anger or from a place of truth. It cannot be taken back. And when we realize this thing and know that, it is real, and we say something to someone and then they take that internally, and because we really and truly don't have any control over how one takes something, but if we negatively, exert a certain energy into the universe, then that can and will manifest in our life as well, or persons that we love, and then we talk about, oh, life is like this and whatever. But I just decided to take a walk outside into nature to record this intro. So I have a demonstration that I will be showing with two soda bottles, or two sodas rather, of the effects of negativity or anger, negative emotions, when we express those words of resentment, those words of frustration outwardly into the universe, onto other persons, whether it be a loved one, a friend, a stranger, your intimate partner, your mother, your father. It doesn't really matter. It's the same thing right across the board. And before we get into the demonstration, let us talk about what are negative emotions and what is anger. So in my estimation, based on research, anger is an emotion that can be characterized by antagonism towards something or someone. So we have our, as I was saying earlier in the video, people, we have our relationship partner, we have our mother, our father, and we have our animals, and then we express that antagonistic behavior towards them and think that we're going to get back a positive response in return. No, we're basically saying things that we don't mean, or if we even do mean it, have a negative effect on the universe itself. Secondly, what are negative emotions? Can be basically described as feelings that can cause one to become frustrated, sad, lonely. It doesn't stop there, because these emotions can also make you dislike yourself, and not just yourself, but others around you. It can significantly reduce one's self-esteem, self-confidence, and their life in general, one's life in general. So we just have to be mindful of things that we are saying to others, the energy that we exert into the universe. We have to be very mindful of these things, because nowadays it takes nothing for one to snap. And the reason is because a lot of us knows absolutely nothing about self-control, controlling in a positive way, where we can put our emotions aside and set it apart and know that, alright, then people are going to be people. You have other persons that are not trying to evolve themselves, and they will just say things out of frustration, out of anger. How do I deal with it? So it is, in my opinion, not just a one-way thing, but a two-way thing. So we all have to take responsibility for our anger and how we deal with situations in life. Without any further ado, let us get into this quick little illustration. Okay, so here we have the two soda pops, which represent two persons in a conversation, and things are being said to upset the other person, or things are being said that can upset both persons. So here's the conversation spiking and spiking. Person number 1 on my left, person number 2 on my right. So these anthals represent the persons around them and the persons that may become in contact with them. So here they are talking, they are both getting heated, and number 1 decide that he will not contain his anger, and as you can see, he's talking, he's expressing himself, and decide that he's not going to have this with person number 2. And here's person number 2 now, you know, just watching him and watch his energy subside, watch him get all gyrated and heated, you know, snap. And after a few minutes, and he realized that, oh, you know, I never really have to behave like that, you know. But within that split second, within that moment, he didn't think about that or saw that necessity, you know. And here are the persons around him. Person number 1, him or her. Here are the persons around that person. So some of them got broken, and as you can see, once this is broken, it cannot be mended, and we still have spillage left over that those persons keep absorbing, you know, because they are in that situation and they may not know how to handle it. And here they are. And if you look at person number 2 now, still holding his own and still watching him, and I don't know if you look closely, you can see some amount of bubbling up going on there. So he's still heated. He's calming right down, but he's still heated. Look at this. So he has calmed right down. Still have certain emotions in him that he think that he or she didn't get to express, but he or she is controlling that. Still bubbling up, but controlling it. And look at the difference. No reaction, no overspill. Look at person number 2 now. Knows how to contain thyself. Keep calm, hold your composure. Person number 2 having it together. Look at the persons around number 2. As you can see, there are marks coming from person number 1. This is not from person number 2. So this is how we basically are unaware on a day-to-day activity, during our day-to-day life, you know, going about our business and thing. And we just get angry for, I'm not going to say no reason, but we just get angry and we don't know how to control that anger. So we think that letting it out and letting off our steam is the best thing. But look what happens to the person. Alright, so I know a lot of persons can relate to this, you know. We're going to school, oh, your parents say, focus on your book, man, focus, keep quiet and this and that, but sorry about that. They've never really taught us how to keep focus. So earlier in the earlier part of the video, I was saying, you know, learn to control your emotions, learn to control your anger, and not necessarily exerting negative emotions out there into the universe or onto other persons. So I'm going to give you a few quick tips or pointers as to what you can take into consideration in terms of how you deal with negative energy and how to evolve and exert positive energy, positive emotions out into the universe, as opposed to being negative, being angry every day for past events, because most of the times it is past event that triggers our anger, frustration, or whatever it may be towards somebody else or even ourselves. So the first thing that we can do, and I have been doing as well, is to take time to know myself, creating experiences that I enjoy. We all know that it is quarantine and we can't really be outside like that, but creating experiences, activities that you enjoy, and when negative presents itself, you can use those as a reminder. Remember those good times. You know, another thing that we can do is to practice mindfulness. Be mindful of others. Know that it is or maybe something else that triggered that person, and Be mindful of it. It is for a reason. But you, me, we don't have to internalize and take all of those expressions personally. We are all human, and we know that certain things will stick with us because we all have memory. So that is another one. Another point number 3 is to practice self-love. Love yourself. And then in doing that, you can automatically, you don't even have to do anything. It will automatically flow. Once you love yourself, show yourself respect, it will automatically flow into the outward world, into the universe, because it's the same thing as the negative energy, or the negative emotions. So we're basically exerting negative energy and it flows. It's the same thing with positivity. So we can practice self-love and know that it will be a ripple effect, not just for ourselves, but it will be for the greater good of ourselves in the long run. Another one, number four is to introspect. Do introspection. If you have never done it before, you can start just reflecting on yourself and do self-evaluation. Know what triggers you from what doesn't trigger you. Know what gives you a sense of fulfillment into the world. In doing introspection, you can now become one with your purpose once you're doing it consistently and not say, oh, may I introspect and then things still happen. So I'm not going to do it because it's the same thing. No. Continue, because you're doing it for yourself. I am doing it for me, not for somebody else. And in me doing it for myself, it can help somebody else without who to say. I don't even have to say anything, but someone gets the energy, not being a negative energy, and then they can add to that energy, and it's a ripple effect. Number 5, you can track or journal things that you're grateful for each day. It can be the same or it can overlap, but try to identify new things that you are grateful for. When negativity presents itself, you know that you are embedded into better things. You can remember those, remember your purpose, and remember the reason why you have started to journey onto this new road, this new path. 6, program your subconscious mind to know that negative energy actually depletes and deteriorates your health, and who wants their health to be depleted, which reduces their life expectancy because of stress, anger, fear, and all of those negative emotions. So those are the tips that I have for today. You can feel free to comment in the comment section, as I'm looking forward to having a heart-to-heart conversation with you all in the comment section. So yeah, I hope this video will indeed help someone who maybe has been experiencing anger issues or have to be doing anger management, or whatever the case may be. If you are easily triggered by things that are being said based on damages that have been done from your past events, such as persons talking down to your, persons being negative towards you, or whatever the case may be, you have your life in your hands and you have full control of every and anything that happens in your life. So take control today and start with a level of mindfulness. Be mindful of yourself. Disclaimer: so I am not saying that one should not express themselves, rather take time and not speak out of anger and intentionally hurt someone else, or say something or do something that you do not mean or would have not meant for the person. Instead, step back, take time, assess the situation, and then come to a level of calmness where you can speak to the other person or persons involved in whatever conversation it was, and be impeccable with your words, because words said can never be taken back. I've always heard persons say that word is wind, but word is not wind. Word is power.
we just have to be impeccable with our words and